Okay students, now let's discuss the remaining portion of note making, that is how to abbreviate a word. As for that we have three rules written on the board, and there is another column on which we have universal abbreviation. Now first of all we will discuss these universal abbreviations, and to understand what are universal abbreviations are those abbreviations which are used universally all over the world, all around the world. So these are some of the universal abbreviations. There are only 11 universal abbreviations written on the board, but there are more than that. But you need to learn only these 10 or 11 universal abbreviations. So starting with the simple one, and, then therefore, then three dots, because, equals to, arrow pointing right side, implies that or leads to, arrow pointing upwards, increase, arrow pointing downwards, decrease, sign of a dollar, sign of other currencies like euro, rupee, and the name of the countries like USA, UAE, and UK, United States of America, United Arab Emirates, and United Kingdoms. So these are universal abbreviations which are used universally, and it is advisable to you that you must use these universal abbreviations, but not too much. Hardly you can use one or two universal abbreviations in your note making, but and rest of the abbreviations you have to do it by abbreviating the word from the passage. So what is the thing that you need to understand, or that you need to learn, is that how to abbreviate a word. So there are three rules for that, and first of all we all must start with that how to find a word, how to figure out that which word we need to abbreviate. For that, what you need to do is you need to read the whole paragraph. You need to read the whole passage first of all, and after skimming and after reading the whole passage, what you need to do is you need to underline those lengthy words which are used in the passage, and you need to abbreviate only those lengthy words which are used in the passage and which are mostly used in the passage and repeated more than once. So those lengthy words which are repeated more than once, so you need to give focus on those lengthy words which are repeated more than once and which are lengthy. So these are three rules how to abbreviate a word. The first rule is by removing vowels. As you can see, I have given two examples, initial and internal. And what is the catch in both the two examples? The catch in these two examples is that both the examples start with the vowel I. Now what you need to remember is if a word starts with a vowel, then you must exempt the vowel with which it is starting. For instance, in initial, the word initial starts with the vowel I. So do not remove I from the word. Do not remove I from the word because it is the first alphabet. Do not remove the first alphabet if it is a vowel. If it is a vowel, note it down that do not remove a vowel if it is the first alphabet of a word. Same is the example with internal. Internal also starts with I. So do not exempt the vowel that starts we do not exempt the word that starts with a vowel. First starts with a vowel, and now you can see that in the rest of the abbreviation I can see that, and you all can see that I have removed all the vowels. I and T, L, full stop. Full stop is a rule which you need to follow, that after making abbreviation you need to full stop. You need to full stop after each and every abbreviation. Same is the case with internal. The first alphabet is a vowel, and the word starts with a vowel. So do not eliminate, do not exempt the first alphabet, that is I. So including I, you have to exclude all other vowels. For example, I and T, R and L. So we have removed all the vowels. So this is the first rule which you can implement for making abbreviations. The second rule is abbreviating words with TION ending. Words which are having pronunciation like shun. For example, education, pollution. So like this we have two examples once again. Education, you can see edu. What you need to do is you need to take first few alphabet, first 3 or 4 alphabet from a word, and after taking that first 3 or 4 alphabet of a word, you have to add tn. Tn as a suffix. You need to add tn as a suffix after the word, and then you have to use full stop. Same is the case with pollution. We used 4 alphabet here, and after using 4 alphabet, we added this suffix, that is tn. So you have to add the suffix tn. And the last rule is using first few and last few alphabet. For example, government govt, 3 alphabet gov, and the last alphabet t. And you also use first 3 or 4 alphabet. For example, concentrate, conc, full stop. So this is going to be your rules to follow how to abbreviate words. I think you all have understood properly that what are the requirements to abbreviate a word, what are the in and outs of note making, and how to abbreviate a word. As I have told you that you can use these universal abbreviations but not more than 2. So with this we have completed this abbreviation section. Now what is left is summary. Now how to make a summary of a note making. How to make a summary of a note making? For that, what you need to do is you need to do a very simple task. First of all, go back to the note making section. Go back to the note making session where I have discussed or described you how to make notes. And from there, what you need to do is you have included main heading, subheading, subheadings. So in your summary, what you have to do is you have to expand all the sentences which you have contracted. Mark my words, you have to expand all the sentences which you have contracted to transform into subheadings, subheadings and main heading. So you have to include, starting from your main heading till the end, till the last point of your subheading. You have to include everything. You have to expand each and every expression which you have contracted while making notes. So when you expand your word limit should reach up to 100 words or so. 10 or 20 words up or down doesn't matter, it won't make any effect. If you have reached up to 110 words or more than 100 or less than 100 words, and there is no harm in it, no harm done. So what you need to do is you need to expand the sentences, expand the contracted sentences which you have contracted while preparing notes for note making. So these are the things which you need to understand, which you need to learn for preparing notes. So as I have told you that this is a very important topic of reading section. It carries 8 marks, and it is very difficult task to perform, to read the whole passage of 550 or 600 words. And the time limit for note making, it might surprise you, the time limit is 10 minutes. Now there might be a query in your minds. There might be a query in your minds that how we can complete our note making in 10 minutes. It is possible that you can complete your note making within 10 minutes. These 10 minutes include the reading time as well. Now what is the skill? What is the catch in it? What is the time which you need to invest? What is the time which you need to invest while making notes? The time shall be those 15 minutes. 15 minutes that shall be given to you. That shall be given to you before the start or commencement of examination. Make utilization of those 15 minutes time. Make utilization of those 15 minutes time. Do not read anything else than passages of reading section. First of all, in these 15 minutes, what you have to do is you need to complete your reading section without writing anything. Remember this thing, without writing anything. Read the passage completely and solve it in your mind then and there, and then read the second passage for note making, so that as soon as the exam commences, then you must start writing straight away without wasting any time. So this is the technique you need to follow. This is the technique which I am telling you to save your time. This will save your time. This will save your crucial and precious time. So what you need to do is you need to utilize these 15 minutes for solving both the passages of your question paper. Do not look for any other question. In the during this 15 minutes time, do not look for any other question. Do not read any other question except reading section. It means that it is your target. Make it your target that you have to complete your reading section in these 15 minutes, and these 15 minutes will create a difference at the end. So this is it with the note making. I think I have covered all the relevant points related to note making, but still, if there is any doubt or there is any query related to note making, I am there to sort that query, that problem out. Keep yourself in contact with me. Try to communicate with me on your queries and solve all the portion, all the sections of your writing section, all the contents of your writing section, and as well as reading section. With this, thank you, goodbye, take care.